Tell us about those next 2 days. They look amazing.
It does look really good. You know, this swell's starting to build today. Will still increase through the day tomorrow, you know, up into a really huge by tomorrow afternoon. A little more challenging tomorrow, but heading into Saturday morning back to more westerly direction. We'll be finishing men's and women's on Saturday, and we'll have great waves, you know, double overhead size and firing at the bowl.
Great waves, firing ball. Can't wait for it. Send it back to you guys.
Thank you, Rosie. And we have competition underway now. And it's Sage Erickson up against Lakey Peterson in this first heat of the morning. Pumping Bell's bowl on hand. Ronnie Blakey with Luke Egan to call these first couple of heats of the morning. And Sage getting that inside position out there and taking that first ride.
It looked good in the beginning, had some nice open face, but just runs away on Sage. About now, she's a little disappointed that she's even taken it. It's gone out to sea a little bit, not that hollow through the bowl section. So a start that she probably wishes ended up not going that way.
So Sage Erickson, it has to be said, has made such fantastic use of her opportunities as an alternate. At the first stop, she had a quarterfinal. And she's kicked this one off with a 2-point ride. Here goes Lakey Peterson in reply. Nice section to start off. Big highline carve, bringing that board right through the turn. A cleaner flow, already 3 major manoeuvres. Moving plenty of water on the outside. And now just trying to get right through to the shore break for the finish. And Peterson climbs up onto that final section. Tricky section to read, does well and has more room to move down the line. And bangs away at that white water one more time. And finishes right there on the sand to the applause from the crowd. And her husband likes it, Thomas watching on. She definitely has that energy coming from the local crowd. Her husband is from this area, so Lakey's been spending quite a bit of time down here in recent times.
The turns here on this wave. A medium-sized wave with a better angle heading into the bowl. Nice slice out of the top, comes around the bottom turn, puts it perfectly up for the second one. This one was beautiful as well. Looks like she's riding a little longer board. This is where she just kind of got hung up and lost her rhythm on this wave. Kind of regains with a nice roundhouse and then finishes off. Needs to just work out that last part of the wave, Ron, and she's going to be up for some huge scores, but that's not a bad start. The outside turns were great. Highlining here to get a speed. Beautiful bottom turn. Out of the top, you watch your shoulders open up here. Still looking down the line till last minute. Pulls it short a little bit, but what that does is makes it go into this bottom turn perfectly for this part of the bowl that stood up one more time. Probably would have liked her to pull that one around a little further and then up for another one. This one was beautiful, just pulling it right around, looking to where she's going to point the nose of the board, bringing it down. The money on the outside, still going to be a great score.
You could just see there the way Lakey came basically through the whitewater out of those manoeuvres. So really staying close to that bowl, knows this wave well, and now Erickson has to fire up. She knows Lakey's going to drop a bomb. The crowd went wild. Sage drifts the tail, can't ride out of that one. But we are waiting on scores to drop for Peterson. So Erickson now out the back, having a look at this one. Good looking wall standing up. These two often spend time sparring one another in the lead up to a new season. Erickson has a pretty decent head-to-head record against Lakey Peterson. And is now going to get herself into this exchange. This wave doesn't make that connection through to the inside. Not sure if she could have stuck with it. But it definitely is going to chip away at the requirement.
Great outside turns. Coming around the section here. Nice arc out of the top. Really good turn there as well, but just lost her rhythm a little bit. Some nice turns, but I think there could have been some better placing and positioning on that wave to get some more points.
Have a look at this thing standing up on the outside. Peterson with priority. And it is an easy decision. She looks down the line, sees some scoring opportunity on the outside here, drives off the bottom, straight into the top. Beautiful big drawn out carve for the Californian, who really refined that front side act on those long right-handers over at Santa Barbara. But that wave just didn't pan out. The first turn was beautiful.
Fading there. There's the check, kind of check. Bottom turn into the top, coming way back to the power source of the wave, getting up on the foam. and realising that that one's not going to bend enough into the money part of the bowl. But nice bottom turn here. Board's looking like it's handling the speed really well and just arriving in the perfect part of that lip, bringing the board right around, driving, coming back to the power source. See that little check and then the bottom turn? One of the best on any of the women on tour right now.
On the Jeep ratings to get herself a much needed heat win during the break. Sage had this wave. Beautiful carve to get started. Up into the pocket once again. This wave starting to flatten out a little bit, but Erickson's still working it over.
Yeah, some great outside carves there, but it's a lot better from Sage. Getting tuned in on this one and coming to the inside.
But Sage letting go of some decent carves too. I think if she finds some more opportunity on the outside, she'll be able to match it with Lakey. She's up again here. Flowing down the line, this wave is starting to fade away and Sage knows it. So not really a mistake, but just giving up on that wave.
Yeah, just realising that one was going fat on her and jumped off.
Getting close to 9 a.m. here, local time. And our surfers are starting to warm up. Here we go, Lakey Peterson off the bottom. Nice steep section. Again, just getting involved in the lip. Can be tricky to do here on the Bells Bowl. But Lakey looking very comfortable. Stands back on the tail of that board. A little caught up for a moment, so didn't have the flow and speed that she carried on her very first ride, but it might get rid of the three. Smooth flowing turn over the roof of the wave. Behind her, Sage Erickson in heat one, still chasing down Lakey Peterson. She didn't like that wave. It's still reeling off. You can see it's flattening out a little bit though. Well, we're back to live action now. Peterson loads up the speed. And a live example of what Luke Egan was just breaking down for you with the telestrator. Couple of nice pocket turns on this one. Peterson up into the lip once again. 4 minutes to go here. Peterson has increased her heat score total with her last ride, 5.17, and now Sage is after a 7.84. Up at the moment, nice face to work with. Digs into that first section. Rides around the pocket. Gets up into the lip again. And Sage just not happy with how that ride came together on the outside.
No, the rhythm there was just out a little bit. There was some great sections to be had.
Well, this is Lakey now, trying to put it out of reach for Sage. A real patience in her approach out there this morning. But when she decides she wants to get on that rail and leaned into a big carve, it's been absolutely devastating. So doing really well the flat sections here and finds an oncoming section and hangs on to that final manoeuvre.
I feel like Ron, that board of hers is getting ready for the swell that's coming. When I look at it on the inside, it looks a little stiff. Not slow, but it just looks a little stiff under feet, which means that if it gets bigger, that thing is just going to be right on cue. So really smart. She knows that she can get good open face turns on that board.
Almost looking for release over at Winky on the first couple of rounds of competition. Now over at the Bells Bowl, you want something that's going to give you a bit of hold.
Yeah, she's either gone for a narrow tail or bigger fins. Just being able to push hard while you're riding the power of the wave. Board looks beautiful out of the lip. Just here, just gets a little like it's looking a little bit too big, but perfect tactics here by Lakey and Mike Parsons, because this board with the rising swell, I feel she's going to have a comfortable heat win here, and then she's going to have a board that's got more potential with the swell getting bigger, and she doesn't have to switch over, which is a fantastic lead up into the next couple of days.
What would you rather see at this point? A competitor riding a board that at times maybe looks a little bit too big, or on a board that offers maybe a little bit more freedom on the open face, but has the potential to look a little bit too small too?
She just got a bit worried what it was going to do. Then you just got to square it up and give it to it, and you know, otherwise it's example right there what's going to happen.
25 seconds to go in the first heat of the morning. Lakey Peterson is going to get the jump on Sage Erickson.